Not all wealth appears in numbers, possessions, or public recognition. There are people who carry a different kind of abundance, quiet and consistent, which manifests in the way they think, decide, and navigate through life. This wealth is born from awareness, discernment, and the ability to uphold responsibilities without losing their inner balance, even when circumstances change. Among the chosen ones, this spiritual wealth often leaves subtle signs. One of them is found in the palm of the hand, traditionally associated with action, giving and managing what is received. Not as a prediction of the future, nor as a material promise, but as a symbolic reflection of an internal structure built over experiences, difficult choices, and constant growth. When we say that only a small portion, around 3%, show certain patterns in the palm of their hand, we are not talking about privilege or superiority. We are referring to people who have developed stability, vision, and the ability to multiply value. These are individuals who don't rely on luck, but on awareness applied to real life, day after day. This content is not about easy money, quick gains, or magic formulas. It is about signs of spiritual wealth, emotional clarity, inner strength, responsibility, and alignment between intention and action. These are the marks of those who came to build something lasting, to sustain processes, and to serve as a point of balance in unstable environments. My name is George. I create content for people who know they carry spiritual responsibility and want to better understand the signs of their own path. If you want to keep learning about awareness, purpose, and spiritual maturity, follow the channel now. Here, the focus is clarity, not fantasy. Sign 1. Inner structure visible in the palm of the hand. Among the chosen ones, the palm of the hand often reflects much more than physical effort. It expresses how a person sustains their own life. One of the most recurring signs is a central line that is firm, continuous, and well-defined, indicating emotional structure and inner stability built over time. This sign does not indicate an easy life. On the contrary, people with this mark usually face challenges early on, learn to deal with loss, and were forced to mature before expected. The difference is that instead of breaking, they learned to reorganize themselves from within. They fall, but they do not completely lose themselves. This structure is manifested in daily behavior. The chosen one with this sign does not react impulsively in the face of crises. They feel the impact, but seek balance before acting. There is a natural ability to reorganize thoughts, emotions, and decisions, even when the environment is unstable. This creates consistency, something rare in chaotic environments. Another aspect of this sign is the ability to carry responsibilities. These people end up taking on more weight, more demands, and more expectations, even without asking for it. Life places them in roles where they need to remain firm, guide others, or hold together processes that could easily collapse. This spiritual wealth does not translate into the absence of pain, but into conscious resilience. The chosen one learns to turn difficult experiences into practical lessons. They do not easily revolt against life because they understand that each phase requires adjustment, not escape. The firm line in the palm is not a reward. It is a reflection of someone who has learned to remain whole, even when everything around them has changed. This is one of the most silent and solid forms of spiritual wealth. Sign 2. Symbolic shapes that indicate vision and practical application. Among spiritually rich chosen ones, there is a sign that doesn't draw attention at first, but reveals itself over time. Subtle patterns formed by intersecting lines on the palm, often resembling triangular structures or something similar to the letter M. These lines do not represent promises of easy success or automatic privilege. They point to a specific ability, transforming perception into concrete action. People with this sign usually perceive what lies beneath situations. While many get lost in confusion, they are able to observe, sort through information, and identify what truly matters. It's not about superior intelligence, but a perception sharpened by experience. From an early age, life often places them in scenarios that demand attention, context reading, and practical decision-making. This sign is tied to the ability to see connections. The chosen one sees patterns where others see only isolated events. They understand that nothing happens in complete disconnection. Conversations, actions, choices, and consequences form a whole. This integrated vision allows them to anticipate problems, adjust course, and create solutions before things become critical. Another important aspect of this sign is applying what they learn. The chosen one is not satisfied with just theory or accumulated knowledge. They feel a need to use what they learn in real life. They observe, test, make mistakes, adjust, and improve. This mindset turns learning into practical value. Knowledge stops being abstract and starts producing concrete results. This ability makes the chosen one naturally sought out in decision-making moments. People sense that they can organize ideas, clarify paths, and simplify complex situations, not because they have all the answers, but because they know how to ask the right questions and structure feasible solutions. This builds trust and creates a positive impact in their environments. This sign also shows in how the chosen one manages resources, not just money, but time, energy, and attention. Often through trial and error, they learn that resources are limited and must be directed wisely. They begin to discern where it's worth investing effort and where to step back. This awareness prevents waste and protects their long-term stability. Another key point is the ability to turn difficult experiences into useful learning. A mistake doesn't become just frustration. A loss is not just pain. The chosen one extracts lessons, adjusts behavior, and continues with more clarity. Nothing is completely discarded. Everything is integrated into growth. This integration creates maturity and strengthens long-term vision. This sign also reveals someone who learns to think before acting. The chosen one does not react impulsively. They observe, analyze, and consider consequences. This doesn't mean slowness, but responsibility. This attitude avoids rushed decisions and creates a more stable path, even in uncertain times. Over time, this practical vision turns into lasting creations. Projects, relationships, and decisions tend to be more consistent. The chosen one understands that real growth does not happen overnight. They build step by step, adjusting as needed, without abandoning the path at the first challenge. This sign doesn't guarantee a mistake-free life. On the contrary, the chosen one makes mistakes like anyone else. The difference is in how they deal with it. Instead of repeating patterns, they learn, correct, and move forward. This approach creates constant evolution and avoids stagnation. In the spiritual realm, this sign points to applied maturity. Spirituality is not confined to speech or abstract ideas. It shows in more conscious choices, more responsible behavior, and real impact on daily life. The chosen one does not separate what they believe from how they live. They strive to align inner vision with external practice. This is a profound form of spiritual wealth. It's not about brilliance or immediate recognition. It's about the ability to build something that endures, grows, and benefits others over time. The symbolic shapes in the palm merely reflect a mind that sees, a heart that learns, and a posture that turns perception into concrete reality. Sign 3. Active energetic presence and ability to move environments. Among spiritually rich chosen ones, there is a presence that doesn't go unnoticed, even when the person doesn't try to stand out. It's an active, perceptible energy that manifests through attention, firmness, and genuine engagement with what's happening. Often, this vitality reflects physically in the palm of the hand, which tends to be warmer, more responsive, or more sensitive to touch, indicating a body connected to its own awareness. This sign has nothing to do with spiritual theatrics or forced charisma. It comes from real presence. The chosen one does not live on autopilot. They are fully present in what they do. When they speak with intention. When they listen, they truly listen. This attitude naturally creates movement in environments. Stuck conversations begin to flow. Postponed decisions take shape. Stagnant processes find direction. People with this sign often act as catalysts without realizing it. They don't need to lead formally or hold prominent positions. Their mere presence provokes reflection, reorganization, and in some cases, discomfort. Some feel safe around them, others feel exposed. Both reactions reveal impact. This happens not because the chosen one tries to change anyone, but because their internal coherence creates contrast. This active energy usually doesn't emerge early. It is built through periods of exhaustion, confusion, and reconstruction. Many chosen ones have gone through phases where they felt lost, drained, or emotionally overwhelmed. After passing through these cycles and learning to position themselves with more clarity, their bodies begin to better sustain their life force. The palm of the hand reflects this state of readiness and presence. Another important aspect of this sign is the ability to remain. The chosen one doesn't flee easily from tough situations. Even with fear, insecurity, or fatigue, they stay aware of what is happening. They don't dissociate. They don't numb themselves. This staying power creates inner depth. The body registers it as stable energy, not scattered, capable of sustaining action without falling apart. Over time, the chosen one learns that this presence needs care. Being available to everything and everyone comes at a high cost. Heavy environments, constant conflict, and excessive demands quickly drain this energy. When there are no boundaries, the body signals fatigue. When there is balance, energy stabilizes and flows consistently. This sign represents a mature form of spiritual wealth. It's not excess energy or uncontrolled intensity. It's conscious vitality, steady presence, and the ability to create movement without fragmenting. A silent force that sustains, organizes, and transforms without needing to impose. Sign 4. Continuous growth and step-by-step building. Another frequent sign among spiritually rich chosen ones appears in the form of thin vertical lines near the center of the palm. These marks symbolize a specific type of growth, gradual, steady, and built with patience. They do not indicate quick leaps or immediate gains, but solid progress, the result of repetition, learning, and perseverance. People with this sign rarely have stories of easy success. They learn through living. They make mistakes, adjust, start over, and keep going. Life doesn't hand them shortcuts. Instead, it offers experiences that demand attention, responsibility, and progressive maturity. This path strengthens the inner foundation and creates long-term stability. This sign reveals someone who doesn't rely on luck. The chosen one learns to trust in their own conscious effort. They understand that real results require discipline, consistency, and the ability to keep going even when there is no immediate recognition. This posture creates emotional balance and avoids extreme fluctuations in the face of difficulties. The relationship with time is a central lesson here. People with this sign are often tested in patience. When they try to rush processes, they face resistance. When they respect the rhythm of each phase, they realize everything flows more smoothly. This understanding protects them from impulsive decisions and anxiety-driven choices. Continuous growth is also reflected in how the chosen one deals with failures. They don't define themselves by isolated mistakes or become paralyzed by setbacks. They use each failure as a correction. They learn from experience, refine strategies, and move forward with more awareness. This mindset builds maturity and a long-term vision. Over the years, this sign translates into the ability to sustain projects, relationships, and responsibilities without abandoning the path at the first sign of difficulty. The chosen one understands that what is solid takes time. They don't seek quick shine, but consistency. This sign represents one of the quietest forms of spiritual wealth. It doesn't draw attention immediately, but it endures. People with this mark build something that withstands time because they respect processes, learn from life, and don't give up when progress seems slow. It is real, sustained, and lasting growth. Sign 5. Alignment between inner self and outer expression. One of the clearest signs of spiritual wealth among the chosen is the alignment between the inner world and how the person lives outwardly. This is often reflected in the similarity between the dominant and non-dominant hand, indicating coherence between intention and action. It's not about perfection, but integrity. The chosen one does not live in constant war with themselves. This alignment is built over time, often after phases of intense inner conflict. Before reaching this point, the chosen one may have lived trying to please, adapt, or meet external expectations. This effort causes exhaustion. Over time, however, the need to live more truthfully arises, even if it costs relationships, positions, or comfort. When alignment happens, life becomes simpler. Decisions are no longer so heavy, because the chosen one no longer needs to maintain personas. They act according to what they believe, feel, and understand as right. This creates a silent peace that does not depend on external approval. This peace is one of the greatest expressions of spiritual wealth. This sign also indicates emotional clarity. The chosen one recognizes limits, understands their values, and does not easily get lost in internal contradictions. They may make mistakes, change their mind, or adjust their path, but they do not live in constant self-deception. This honesty with themselves creates stability and reduces unnecessary conflicts. In daily life, this alignment manifests in practical choices. The chosen one learns to say no without guilt, to distance themselves from what doesn't make sense, and to invest energy in what truly builds. This doesn't make them rigid, but conscious. They don't waste time trying to sustain lives that are not theirs. This sign is also reflected in how others perceive the chosen one. There's a sense of authenticity. Even those who disagree feel that there is truth there. This generates respect, even if it doesn't always lead to closeness. Internal coherence creates a firm presence that doesn't depend on imposition. Spiritual wealth in this context is living without internal fragmentation. It's walking with less conflict and more clarity. The symbolic symmetry between the hands simply reflects a consciousness that has learned to align thought, emotion, and action. This alignment doesn't eliminate challenges, but makes the path lighter and more sustainable. Sign 6. Inner resilience and the ability not to be deformed by time. Another frequent sign among spiritually wealthy chosen ones is inner resilience. This manifests symbolically in the firmness of the palm of the hand, even as the years pass. It is not just a physical aspect, but an energy that does not easily weaken in the face of life's pressures. People with this sign usually have life stories marked by prolonged challenges. They have faced losses, frustrations, early responsibilities, or periods of intense emotional wear. Even so, they did not become bitter nor completely lose their sensitivity. This combination of resilience and humanity is rare and deeply valuable. This resilience does not mean emotional hardening. The chosen one feels pain, exhaustion, and fear like anyone else. The difference is that they do not allow these experiences to deform their values. They suffer, but they do not become corrupted. They learn, but they do not close themselves off. This creates a solid inner foundation that sustains decisions even in difficult moments. This sign also indicates the ability to go through long cycles without giving up. While many become disorganized when facing lengthy processes, the chosen one learns to persist. They understand that certain constructions require time and do not rush irresponsibly. This active patience is an advanced form of spiritual maturity. Another important aspect is how the chosen one relates to the past. They do not erase what they lived, but they also do not remain trapped in it. Difficult experiences become references, not prisons. This ability to integrate the past without being dominated by it strengthens identity and prevents unnecessary repetition. This inner resilience also generates reliability. People around feel that they can count on the chosen one in critical moments, not because they solve everything, but because they do not abandon easily. This stable presence creates solid bonds and safer environments, even in unstable scenarios. Spiritual wealth here is not shine or prominence. It is sustainment. It is remaining whole as time passes, as pressures increase, and as comforts disappear. The symbolic firmness of the palm reflects a soul that has learned to move through life without losing its essence. Sign 7. Sense of presence, weight, and responsibility in the palm of the hand. Among spiritually wealthy chosen ones, there is a less visible but deeply felt sign, the sensation of presence in the hand itself. Some people describe this as a slight weight, a different density, or a constant awareness of the hand, even when it is at rest. It is not pain, nor physical discomfort. It is the perception that something there carries meaning, function, and responsibility. This sign usually emerges over the course of life, not necessarily from childhood. It appears when the chosen one begins to assume clearer inner commitments, when they stop acting purely on impulse, and begin to sustain decisions that affect not only themselves but others as well. The hand in this context symbolizes administration, offering, and the ability to conduct processes with care. People with this sign rarely live carelessly. They feel the impact of their own choices even before making them. There is a prior awareness that weighs, not as guilt, but as responsibility. This perception makes them think twice before acting, speaking, or committing. Not out of fear, but out of respect for the effect they cause. This sensation is also linked to reliability. The chosen one with this sign is often seen as someone solid, even if they are not expansive or charismatic. People feel they can rely on them, not because they promise a lot, but because they sustain what they take on. This reliability is born from inner coherence and the willingness not to abandon processes halfway through. Over time, this symbolic weight can become tiring. Many chosen ones go through phases of exhaustion precisely because they carry more than they should. They take on responsibilities that are not theirs, try to resolve others' conflicts. True spiritual wealth does not appear loudly. It doesn't need to be announced, displayed, or proven. It reveals itself over time in how you deal with life, with people, and with your own responsibilities. The signs that appear in the palm of the hand are not magical promises nor guarantees of external success. They function as reflections of an inner construction that has been built over years, often in silence. When we speak of spiritually wealthy chosen ones, we are speaking of people who have learned to transform awareness into action. People who do not just react to what happens, but who observe, adjust, and build. People who make mistakes, fall, rise, and continue on with greater clarity. This wealth does not depend on favorable circumstances, but on a solid inner stance toward life. Spiritual wealth manifests in how you sustain long-term processes, how you manage responsibilities, and how you deal with the impact of your own decisions. It shows up in your ability to generate value, organize what is confusing, and remain firm even when results are slow to come. It is a kind of wealth that does not depend on applause, but on coherence. Perhaps when observing these signs, you recognize yourself in some points. Perhaps you realized that you've always carried greater responsibility, a broader vision, or a different kind of sensitivity. That doesn't make you better than anyone. It simply indicates that your journey requires more awareness, more care, and more intention. What's most important is not the sign itself, but what you do with it. Do you use this awareness to grow, or to overload yourself, to build, or to demand too much of yourself, to align, or to compare yourself with others? Spiritual wealth grows when there is balance between vision, action, and limits. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these signs stood out most to you? Have you ever noticed something similar in your hands or in the way you live and make decisions? Share your experience or the point that resonated most with you in the comments. Your story can help others recognize themselves and better understand their own path. Write in the comments which sign connected most with your story and why. The sharing of experiences broadens awareness and strengthens those who are still learning to recognize their own worth.